What is going on, comic book community? Today we're doing another Omnibus review, and today I'm reviewing this bad boy. Batman by Jeph Loeb and Tim Sale was actually the first ever Omnibus I ever bought. Sadly, I can't fit it here in the stand, so I'm going to have to hold it up for most of the review, as always. Stay tuned for this next episode of Josh's Comics to find out about this great book. Alright guys, so let's get into this review. This Omnibus, again, is the first ever one I ever bought as a Batman fan. This collects everything from Jeph Loeb and Tim Sale. Let's see. Where are we at? Okay. This collects Batman Legends of the Dark Knight Halloween Special, Batman Madness, a Legends of the Dark Knight Halloween Special, Batman Ghost, a Legends of the Dark Knight Halloween Special, Batman The Long Halloween issue number 1 through 3, one of the greatest arcs and stories in Batman history, Batman Dark Victory 0 from number 13, and Catwoman When in Rome, issue number 1 through 6, and a short story from Batman Superman Secret Files and Origins 2003. The Long Halloween is amazing. So the idea behind it is it ran for one whole year. It came out on Halloween month and ran all the way to the next Halloween, and each month for each holiday. And the story behind it is, it's an original story, but this follows up one of the greatest origin stories ever, and that's Batman Year One by Frank Miller. So what I would recommend is, when you go to read this, you want to start out reading Batman by Frank Miller Year One. You can get the trade paperback, or you can get the 4 single issues if you have them. Read that story first. This takes, I believe, 2 to 3 years after Year One, and you'll see characters that were in the Year One storyline, and there's some payoff for some characters and that you like and that you don't like, and you're happy to see what happens to them. But highly recommend, read Frank Miller's Batman Year One, all 4 issues, and then read this. A lot of people recommend that. But so let's slide this off. Now, the last few Omnis, all the Omnis I've done, I believe, all had artwork on the cover. As you can see, it's got, Batman, nothing on the back, except for the DC logo. And then you got the Batman, Jeph Loeb, and Tim Sale Omnibus. Some books come like this. I don't prefer either or. Well, I mean, I'm fine with either or. I don't mind having this kind of cover, or I don't mind having, graphic art on the cover. I'm fine with that. So, guys, this is going to be a bit hard. You have to bear with me, because this is one of the biggest, actually probably the biggest one I've reviewed on the channel so far. I mean, look how thick that thing is. So, boom, there you go. We got that little opening right there. You have a introduction. And you have also over here, you have all of the different chapters of what you're reading and everything. And I want to see, who does the introduction? Does it say? Jeph Loeb. Okay, so Jeph Loeb does the introduction. Whoa. For some reason I thought it was somebody else. So we start off right here with Long Halloween. I actually own 4 or 5 issues of the Long Halloween series by himself in comics. And I want to collect the whole run. And you're going to be like, well, why do you want to collect the whole run in single issues when you have the whole thing here? As a collector, as a Batman collector, for my PC, personally, I feel like every Batman collector should have that run. Whether it's in Omnibus, but I feel like you should have both. The Omnibus format, because you can take, read this all day long, and the other ones you keep in good shape and not touch them. So the Long Halloween pretty much starts off with a killing, and it runs for, 12 months. And Batman's trying to find out who the killer is, and there's quite a few twists and turns about who it could be, and becomes Holiday, becomes the killer's name. It is really great the way you find out who was the killer. I don't know if I can say it because, well, I'm not gonna say who the killer was, but I don't know if I can spoil it. There's technically 2 killers. You would have to read to find out. But we were introduced to some great characters, supporting characters. All of Batman's rogue villains show up in this at one point or another. And it's just really great artwork. You got Selina Kyle in here, who you find out more of her origin. You find out who her father is. You find out, that's a great shot right there. I love that right there. You also, there's a young, I don't say young Harvey Dent, but there's Harvey Dent, Batman, and Jim Gordon working together. Bases, you pretty much see off of, The Dark Knight, what happened with him. But this is what happens, Harvey is helping clean up the streets. Batman sees the good he's doing. And, of course, eventually Harvey, he goes after the mob, and they go back after him. They take it to him. They burn down his house. They do quite a few other things to him, if I remember correctly. And then eventually his transformation, he, turns into Two-Face. You see that in here. More great artwork, like I said. And so this goes, for almost a whole year. I'm going to kind of skip around. I'm not going to go through every page here. But it goes for a whole year, and, yeah. Right there's the Joker. He shows up. Not Superman doesn't show up. Riddler's in here, actually. Clayface, I believe, is in here. You also have the Dark Victory storyline. And actually, I just skipped it, yeah. Oh, well. That is actually Catwoman. And Catwoman in Rome is actually a good story, too. Yep, there you go. We're in Dark Victory. I will say my only problem with the series is the way some of the characters are drawn. The Joker's face is just off to me for a little bit. And this is Catwoman. Catwoman in Rome is actually fun. Edward... actually, I'm going to specify the panel. The Riddler follows her over there for some reason. And... as you would guess it, things don't go as well for him. I'm going to see if I can find the panel. Yeah, so this, I was surprised to see this. That's Catwoman. And let me tell you something. That shot, woo! There's another shot in here, too. I'm not going to go all the way through it and find it. Oh, well, there you go. And then she pretty much kicks him off the boat. And then you got a bunch of artwork and interviews with the creators and characters. And I love when books include that. And down here are pictures of the toys, Dark Victory toys. But yeah, it's a great book, and it's reading back here, So this is the first time that Jeph Loeb and Tim Sale's collections were put together. Sale's artwork, like I said, I enjoy most of it, but the Joker's got his big giant teeth. It's just kind of off to me. But yeah, overall, I'm happy with this book, and I really enjoy it. And I feel like, as a Batman fan, you have to read this. It's important for the Batman lore in my mind. And knowing that it's a follow-up to, Year One, it's great. It usually retails for $125 US and 163 Canadian dollars. I got this again. Organic Price Books is where I get all of my omnis from. Shout out to those guys. And this was on sale. It's been out for a while. I believe this might be out of print right now. I could be wrong about that. DC tends to stealth drop sometimes books. Like Batman books, almost every single Batman Omni is guaranteed to be forever green, which means in Omni terms it's always printed. It's because Batman sells well. But there are some Omnis that are out of print right now. I don't know if this one is or not. But it is a great story. And like I said, The Long Halloween, you know, the premise behind it being it follows for one whole year from Halloween to the next Halloween, and there's a holiday killer. But it introduces Carmel Factel, I believe I pronounce his name. Sofa, I can't remember her name, but she's appearing on the Penguin show that's coming out from Matt Reeves, so you have that going on. A lot of good characters introduced. And Dark Victory, you know, you have Robin in Dark Victory finally, and there's a lot of good, it's just a lot of good characters involved. And they make, I think what the best thing is, Jeph and Tim make good use of Batman's rogue gallery. And for me, anytime a omnibus or a comic book runs for multiple stories, and you can use Batman's rogue gallery very well, I'm always into that. I love seeing the rogues. I love seeing even the rogues that don't get as much attention and focus. And Catwoman, you know, getting her own story arc, which I thought was good, because Selina Kyle has always been very important in the Batman lore, and always will be. And I do have my ladies of comics that I like, and Selina is definitely at the top of the list. And for Batman, like, I feel like Selina is his soulmate. Like, that's, you know, I know we've seen that happen many times in the comics, whether they get together or they don't get together, they tease. I mean, you had the Batman Catwoman, which I don't think was in continuity, but it was there. They got married and had a child and everything. I just feel like Selina's his perfect match. I mean, yeah, he does have other women that he could match up with, but I feel like Selina's the best. So I'm happy to see she got her not only in The Long Halloween, but when in Rome, her side story, you know, she leaves halfway through The Long Halloween. Batman doesn't know what happens. And then she reappears at a few issues or at the very end. And that's why Catwoman in Rome takes place during her leave of absence from the story. And you find out what she went over there for and what she did and her connections and everything. But yeah, guys, it is a great book. I highly recommend it. I mean, go out there and get it, man. I mean, if you guys can, or if you already have it, it's great. And like I said, I'm just trying to collect Dark Victory. I probably won't try collecting full run single issues, but Long Halloween, I am working on that. It's just one of the greatest Batman stories ever told. Catwoman in Rome is really good too. It's a six-part miniseries. I highly recommend it. And like I said before, if you go out to read this, and if you pick up this Omni, please check out Frank Miller's Year One before you do. It really helps you out, and it's a nice connection to it. So anyway, guys, that is it for today's Omniverse review. We're a couple days away, weather pending. Backyard Comic Fest could hopefully go down this time. We're hoping it does. I really do. I mean, if not, it's just going to have to be postponed again. For some reason, the weather only likes raining on Saturdays or Sundays, but during the week, it's nice and sunny. I don't get it. But anyway, we'll see. And if we do manage to go to Backyard Comic Fest, I will be going live on Instagram some point early in the morning. It's from 10 a.m. to 2 p.m. And I'm going to go live, I'm thinking about 9:30. I want to get there a little bit early. I'm not going to be hunting or going through bins. What I'm going to do is I'm just going to go live, show you guys the setup, maybe interview our fellow sellers over there so you guys can get, you know, interested in them and check out their channels and see what they're offering. Comic Dunes will be there doing a live whatnot sale. Again, he did show up last week, or the following weekend they did it, and they sold some stuff, but he'll be there doing live whatnot if you cannot make it. It is in the outer Philadelphia area in Glenside, PA. Message Joe of 360 Comics if you're interested in going. And yeah, that's it for today's video, guys. Do me a favor, help me out, hit that like button and subscribe. I would really appreciate it. And as always, stay safe, take care of each other, and we'll see you guys in the next episode of Josh's Comics.